Every morning at exactly 7:30, Michael Anderson drove into the parking lot of Anderson Technologies. The black Rolls-Royce always arrived at the same time. The security guards opened the gate before he even reached it. Employees would glance through the office windows as a luxury car rolled into its reserved space. And every single day, someone would say the same thing. That man has the perfect life. From the outside, it certainly looked that way. At 42 years old, Michael was one of the most successful entrepreneurs in Chicago. He owned a technology company valued at hundreds of millions of dollars. He lived in a stunning lakefront mansion. He traveled on private jets. He appeared on magazine covers. And whenever people talked about success, his name was always mentioned. To most people, Michael Anderson represented the American dream. What they didn't know was that Michael would have given away every dollar he owned just to change one thing. One Friday afternoon, the company's newest employee found herself riding in the elevator with Michael. Her name was Sarah Mitchell, 26 years old. Ambitious, hardworking. Like many others, she admired Michael from a distance. As the elevator climbed toward the executive floor, she smiled nervously. It must be amazing. Michael looked up from his phone. What? Being you? He laughed softly. Most people would have taken the comment as a compliment. Michael simply nodded. The elevator doors opened. Before leaving, he turned toward her. Be careful when envying other people's lives. Sarah looked confused, but before she could ask what he meant, he was gone. The strange comment stayed with her for the rest of the day. At the time, she assumed he was just being humble. She had no idea how serious he was. 3 weeks later, the company organized its annual charity gala. Hundreds of guests attended. Business leaders, investors, politicians, media personalities. The event was glamorous, expensive, elegant. Everything appeared perfect. Michael stood on stage delivering a speech about perseverance and success. The audience applauded. Cameras flashed. People smiled. Yet something seemed strange. As Sarah watched from her table, she noticed Michael briefly lose his train of thought. For a split second, his confident smile disappeared. A look of sadness crossed his face. Then it was gone. Most people never noticed. Sarah did. Later that evening, she saw him standing alone outside the ballroom. The noise of the event faded behind them. For several moments, neither spoke. Then Sarah asked a simple question. Are you happy? Michael looked genuinely surprised. No one had asked him that in years. They usually asked about money, success, business, never happiness. After a long pause, he smiled, but the smile looked tired. That's an interesting question. Then he walked away. The answer never came. Over the following months, Sarah noticed more things. Michael rarely attended celebrations. He never seemed excited about achievements. He often stayed late in the office long after everyone had left. Sometimes you would see him sitting alone in the conference room, staring out the window, not working, just staring, as if he were waiting for something or someone. The mystery fascinated her. One evening, Sarah accidentally discovered something unusual. She had stayed late to finish a project. As she walked through the parking garage, she saw Michael getting into his car. Curious, she watched as a Rolls-Royce pulled away. Then something unexpected happened. Instead of driving toward the wealthy neighborhoods where he lived, Michael headed in the opposite direction, toward one of the oldest parts of the city. Without fully understanding why, Sarah followed. What she witnessed left her confused. Michael parked outside a modest apartment building. No security, no assistance, no luxury, just an ordinary building. He entered carrying a bag of groceries. 2 hours later, he emerged, alone. The following week, Sarah saw the same thing. And the week after that, always the same apartment, always carrying groceries, always staying for hours. Her curiosity continued growing. Who lived there? A secret girlfriend? A relative? Someone in trouble? The questions multiplied. Then came the day everything changed. One rainy Tuesday afternoon, Michael received a phone call during an executive meeting. The moment he answered, the color drained from his face. Without saying a word, he stood up and left. The meeting ended immediately. Nobody knew why. Rumors spread through the company. Some thought it involved business. Others suspected legal problems. The truth was far different. For 3 days, Michael never returned to the office. On the 4th day, employees learned he had taken an emergency leave. Still no explanation. Then Sarah received an unexpected request. Michael's assistant asked her to deliver documents to a local hospital. When she arrived, she found Michael sitting alone in a waiting room. For the first time, he looked nothing like the powerful businessman everyone admired. He looked exhausted, broken, human. Before she could leave, a doctor approached him. "I'm sorry," the doctor said quietly. "We're running out of options." Michael lowered his head, and for the first time, Sarah saw tears in his eyes. The doctor walked away. Sarah stood frozen. She had never imagined seeing Michael Anderson cry. A few moments later, he noticed her. For several seconds, neither spoke. Then he surprised her. "Do you want to know the truth?" Sarah nodded. Michael looked toward a nearby hospital room. "My son is in there." Sarah's eyes widened. Nobody even knew Michael had a child. The media never mentioned one. The company never discussed it. In fact, most people assumed he was simply divorced and living alone. Michael took a deep breath. "He's 16. His voice trembled. "He has a rare neurological disease." Sarah felt her stomach tighten. Michael continued. "For 10 years, I've watched doctors try everything." His eyes filled with tears. "For 10 years, I've watched my son slowly lose abilities most people take for granted." The waiting room became silent. All those years, all that success, all that wealth, and none of it could save the person he loved most. Michael stared at the floor. "You know what's funny?" Sarah remained silent. "People envy me every day." He laughed bitterly. "They see the mansion, the cars, the company, the money." His voice cracked. "But every night I go home wishing I could trade all of it." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "Trade it for what?" Michael looked toward his son's room. "One healthy day." The answer shattered her heart. Over the following weeks, Michael slowly shared more of his story. His son, Ethan, had been diagnosed when he was 6 years old. Doctors initially offered hope. Then came setbacks. Then more setbacks. Years passed. Treatments failed. Experimental procedures failed. Nothing worked. Meanwhile, Michael's business exploded. His wealth multiplied. His reputation grew. The world celebrated him. But every achievement felt empty. Every award reminded him that success couldn't solve everything. Every magazine cover felt meaningless. Because while the world saw a billionaire, he saw himself as a father losing a battle he couldn't win. The reason he visited the apartment building every week was finally revealed. His ex-wife lived there with Ethan. After the diagnosis, they had divorced. Not because they stopped loving each other, but because grief changed them. Yet Michael never stopped showing up. Never stopped helping. Never stopped being a father. Then came the biggest surprise of all. Months later, a company employee organized a fundraiser for children battling rare diseases. The event wasn't about Michael. In fact, organizers didn't even know about Ethan. When Michael arrived and saw what the fundraiser supported, he quietly stepped onto the stage. Nobody expected him to speak. The room fell silent. Then Michael shared his story publicly for the first time. People cried. Employees cried. Executives cried. Investors cried. Because suddenly the man they envied became something else entirely. Not a billionaire, not a CEO, not a success story. A father carrying a pain nobody could see. When the speech ended, the audience rose to their feet. The standing ovation lasted several minutes. Not because of his money, not because of his success, but because people finally understood. Everyone carries battles. Some are simply better at hiding them. A year later, Ethan passed away peacefully. The news devastated everyone who knew the family. For weeks, Michael disappeared from public life. Then one morning, he returned. Older, quieter, changed. At his first company meeting after returning, he stood before hundreds of employees. The room was silent. Everyone waited. Finally, Michael spoke. For years, people told me I had everything. He paused. But life taught me something important. The room listened carefully. The things that matter most can't be bought. Many employees wiped tears from their eyes. Michael smiled softly. If you have someone you love, call them today. If you have family, spend time with them. If you have good health, be grateful. Because those are the real riches. Years later, people still talk about Michael Anderson. Not because of his fortune, not because of his company, not because of his success, but because he reminded them of something they often forgot. The person you envy may be carrying a burden you cannot see. The life you wish you had may contain pain you would never choose. And sometimes, the richest person in the room is the one who still has the things money can never buy. Stories end, but wisdom stays. If you believe stories can change the way we see life, welcome to Echoes of Wisdom. Subscribe, and let every story leave you better than it found you.